With the Oakland Athletics, Barry Zito won a Cy Young Award and was an All-Star 3 times. Now his 4th season as a Giant, and Zito is pitching like his old self with a 6-1 record. Tonight he's back across the bridge in Oakland. Giants A's interleague play. Game 1 next. It's the All-Bay Area interleague matchup, and all roads lead to the Oakland Coliseum tonight. It's the San Francisco Giants of the National League West, the Oakland Athletics of the American League West. Giants baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the next generation in home entertainment. Now available in the Bay Area, coming soon to the Central Valley. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller, along with Ray Fosse, his 25th year as an A's broadcaster after 13 seasons in the big leagues, and Mike Krukow, his 20th year as a Giants broadcaster after 14 big league seasons. And welcome to our telecast. And the Giants trying to come back after a very difficult early part of the road trip, but they're up against Trevor Cahill. A young right-hander, Ray, had a great game against the Giants last year.
You know, the one thing, if the A's are going to have any success, they need pitching and defense. And for Trevor Cahill, he didn't start with the season with the Athletics because of disabled list, but his last 2 starts, 25 ground ball outs. And for Trevor to be successful, he needs to keep the ball down, throw sinkers. If he gets a ground balls, he could be tough.
All right, so we've seen Cahill before. He is tough. Barry Zito with the Giants. He has never done well against the A's, but he's doing well against everybody right now.
Well, if you look at his lifetime numbers against the A's, they're ugly. 0-3, 9-point ERA, and 13 2/3, 36 base runners. Well, that's the old Zito. The new version, he's 6-1 with a 2.15. They'd never seen him, and he's ready to do battle against his old club.
All right, so the Giants and the A's, they had a big day here recently in Oakland when Dallas Braden pitched a perfect game. They're commemorating that event tonight. Here's the voice of the A's, Ken Korak.
Consecutive outs and 51 diamonds on its face to represent Dallas's gibber. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Braden.
Thank you for coming out, everybody. I appreciate you spending your time here in Oakland with us this evening. Want to give a special shout out to my folks in the 209 section up there. Let me hear you. I love it. I love it. I just want to say thank you for allowing myself and my grandmother to share such a special day in our lives with everybody that was here that day. Not a better place to have it happen. An organization that's given me such an opportunity. The only thing I've ever wanted is an opportunity, and I was granted that here. And we were able to make magic happen on that special day right in front of all of you, the Oakland faithful. We're going to keep it short and sweet. We got the dactyl warming up, getting ready to go for us. So we're gonna make it quick, but along with the ring, we're also going to give you a nice little pennant to take with you on your travels, and it's right over here.
That's wonderful, Dallas. Congratulations to both of you. And what an amazing thrill for everybody who was here and witnessed it. The pendant matches the ring that was presented to Dallas and will be engraved with the following: Dallas Braden's perfect game, 19th in Major League history. Oakland Athletics, Mother's Day, May 9th, 2010, presented to Peggy Lindsay. And now Peggy Lindsay will toss out tonight's ceremonial first pitch to her grandson, Dallas Braden. Throw a strike in there.
job, Johnny. Good job. You did it. You did it. You did it.
Thank you, Peggy, for all you've done for your grandson. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to Diamond Vision for a special video tribute to Dallas Braden's perfect game.
For the first inning, we were in there, and Chavi was stretching on the ground. He said, "There's something about today just feels a little quirky." I don't think either of us had any idea that's what would ensue. But I mean, it's such a great thing to be a part of. Dallas is such a great teammate, such a loyal guy.
My hat's out to Dallas Braden. What a teammate, what a pitcher, and most of all, what a friend.
And that was pretty much the key to the day. You know, we kept throwing that fastball in off the plate, kept getting ahead in the count, and then he's got one of the best changeups in baseball. And that really worked for him, that combo in and out, and it was just a magical day.
He's a grinder, man. He'll go out there and give it all he's got every time. And that's why we like playing behind him, and that's why he is who he is right now. And no one would ever think that he would throw a perfect game except him and except for us, because we know what kind of competitor he is.
But it still took to the ninth inning for me to say, 3 more outs. And he's got a perfect game. And I mean, it took 24 outs and 8 innings for me to finally realize that we're possibly looking at history being made right here at the Coliseum on Mother's Day, of all days.
And the batter is Ibar, a switch hitter batting right, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on a bloop toward first, back in the bag, taken by Barton for the out, one away. The windup working quickly, the 0-1 pitch is swung on line to left. Patterson's there, reaching back, makes the catch. 2 outs, 9th inning, and Braden is 1 out away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Gabe Kapler. 2 out, nobody on, 9th inning. And Braden turns, he throws, and it's swung on a ground ball to short. Taken there, Pennington's got it. He throws, a perfect game. Dallas Braden has thrown a perfect game. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the left field wall, where Dallas Braden, Landon Powell, and Peggy Lindsay are now unveiling a special perfect game logo that will adorn the wall throughout the season.
Dallas Braden with his grandmother, Peggy Lindsay. A proud moment and a very touching ceremony put together by the Oakland Athletics to commemorate the second pitcher in Oakland Athletics history to pitch a perfect game. The first year of the Athletics were in Oakland, 1968. Hall of Famer, he was on his way to the Hall of Fame, Jim Catfish Hunter pitched a perfect game against the Minnesota Twins, who were one of the best teams in baseball at that time. And Dallas Braden duplicated that feat also against one of the best teams in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays, a rather astounding performance. And Dallas Braden, the Athletics commemorate that. Jim Catfish Hunter went on to become a Cy Young winner and was perhaps the first big money free agent signing. The New York Yankees eventually signed him after then Oakland owner Charlie Finley did not live up to the contract with Catfish Hunter, and he was set free. Dallas Braden in ceremonies here at the Coliseum before the Giants and the Athletics play interleague game number 1 of a 3-game series, commemorated for his perfect game pitched right here in the East Bay. We'll be back. The Giants and A's about ready to play. We'll have the lineups and the first pitch after this. The Giants and the A's for the first time here in the 2010 season. Barry Zito, who won a Cy Young Award with Oakland, back in his old home ballpark to face the A's here tonight. And also here with us is NBC Bay Area Sports Director Raj Mathai. Raj?
John, good evening to you. So many great memories for Barry Zito here. Not only is it a storyline for tonight's game, but a storyline for this Giants season so far. 7 seasons in the green and gold for the A's, and for Barry Zito, almost every minute with the A's was memorable. Some of the memories, look at him kind of coming up with this team, helped lead the A's to 5 playoff appearances. 3 times he was an All-Star, and of course, as you mentioned, the Cy Young season of 2002 when Barry Zito was 23-5. And Zito, what he's doing this year, he's off to this best start of his career. Really what he's doing now, and this is coming from Zito himself, he's really simplifying his approach and going back to the future, back to when he was with the Oakland A's, thinking less and working on his arm strength. And Ray, as we bring you in, that's a great combo for Zito. He's 6-1. Keep that in mind, thinking less and working on his arm strength. So we'll see what Barry Zito can do tonight. He's 0-3 against his former franchise. Gentlemen, back up to you.
Well, Barry Zito broke in with the Athletics when he was 22 years old and had a great deal of success here, that's for sure.
You know, John, he was outstanding, and just to see the curveball when he came here, and it was unhittable. And I remember Rick Peterson, then the pitching coach, they said, well, we don't want to start him in Colorado because of the altitude and the turn interleague play. So when I saw his curveball, I said he could pitch anywhere. I don't care where. Yellowstone, it doesn't matter. That curveball is going to break. And as it turned out, it broke very well here at the Coliseum in the American League.
It is a windy night here in Oakland. And if you were here when we were televising these ceremonies for Dallas Brayton before the game, that wind was really whipping around the infield. 57 degrees as we bring you the game time weather. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, where bags fly free. 57 degrees. That 8-mile-an-hour wind, I don't think so. Maybe that was a forecast, but you might put maybe a 2 in front of that 8. It is really swirling around big time inside this bowl right now. 56% humidity. The forecast, we got some wind chill factors perhaps we're talking about here at the Coliseum tonight.
Yesterday afternoon, a day game, series finale against the Detroit Tigers. Gusty winds again, Jack Cusson. What happens in this park, you can see the flags in the view corner, they're blowing out, but the wind swirls around on the inside, and you hit a ball, and you think, well, it's got a chance. Next thing you know, it's caught even in front of the warning track. So the wind definitely will take its toll tonight. And that's why, from the A standpoint, Trevor Cahill, keep the ball on the ground. Don't have to worry about the balls hit in the air. And Barry Zito, you guys have seen him more this year, and you know how he's pitching. But being a fly ball pitcher, which he has been throughout his career, we'll see how that's going to take place tonight.
Well, the Giants had to deal with the high winds in New York a couple of weeks ago, and there were some misadventures in that series.
Well, Barry Zito indeed is a fly ball pitcher, and when you have a fly ball pitcher on a night like tonight, it's going to be a rough night for infielders and outfielders. Any ball that's hit in the air, you better have some help on him because there's no guarantee it's going to come straight down. Barry Zito, however, knows this ballpark, and the good thing about windy weather, swirling windy weather, is it's hard to throw the ball straight. It is definitely a night that will favor the pitcher, and it is definitely a night that will be difficult for hitters to hit and feel comfortable in the box.
You know, as a pitcher yourself, with the wind, and Barry throws the curveball, sometimes a slower variety, how much can the wind affect a curveball more than, say, a slider or maybe a harder type curveball?
Well, if you're throwing it into a wind and it's in your face, then you're going to have a lot of break, a lot of snap on the curveball. Your curveball will be bigger, it'll be quicker. If it's at your back, you'll get rolled to it. So, you know, if it's a swirling wind like we used to have at Candlestick, it can help you, it can hurt you, but you have to learn how to read the winds. And that is one thing that, Zito learned to do here. He understands this ballpark.
The Oakland Athletics have taken the field, and let's take a look at the Giants batting order. Aaron Rowan leads off in center field. Freddie Sanchez, 2 hits last night in Arizona at second base. Pablo Sandoval at third base. He hit .333 against the Athletics last year. Aubrey Huff, the cleanup hitter at first base. Benji Molina is the designated hitter. Juan Uribe at shortstop. John Bowker in left field hitting 7th. Andres Torres in right field, and Eli Whiteside will be doing the catching.
And for the Athletics defensively, we're very happy to have back Coco Crisp, his first game of the regular season. And for the Athletics, he injured his finger playing the Giants in exhibition. But Davis and Sweeney on the corners of the outfield, Kevin Kuzminoff, Cliff Pennington on the left side of the infield, Adam Rosales, who's done a great job for the A's in the absence of Mark Ellis. He's at second. Derek Barton, I think, has a chance to win a Gold Glove. He's at first. Kurt Suzuki, his first game back from the disabled list was Sunday in Anaheim, and he's caught every game since. So great to have Kurt Suzuki back behind the plate. And, of course, Trevor Cahill, a ground ball pitcher making just his 5th start. He started the season on the disabled list, not with a right shoulder problem. It was a left shoulder problem. So he is back and probably in this rotation since Justin Duchre looks like he has another hip problem. He might be out for the rest of the season. So great to have Trevor, who pitched very well for the A's last year in his rookie season.
So Trevor Cahill ready to go. Cahill, only 22 years old, from Southern California. And he faced the Giants here last year and just shut them down. So Cahill to face Aaron Rowan, the Giants and the Athletics, the All Bay Area interleague matchup begins. And that's in there for a called strike. The All New York matchup, Yankees-Mets, began about 3 hours ago at Citi Field in New York. The Yankees lead that game 2-0 in the 9th inning. Rowan gets that one airborne into center, and there is Coco Crisp right off the disabled list. First batter hits a fly ball to him. No problem. One away.
Well, it is great. This is what the A's have projected for their defensive outfield when the season began, but unfortunately for Coco, he placed on the disabled list. So Rajay with speed in left field, Ryan Sweeney in right field. So basically you have three center fielders tonight playing in the outfield for the Athletics.
So now, Freddie Sanchez. And Mike Sanchez really got it going last night and was an igniter at the top of that lineup for the Giants.
Well, for him, it was opening day a couple of days ago, and he really is enjoying his playing time back in the big leagues. Says he feels like a kid again.
And that is the ball down and away. Last night he had base hits in his first 2 appearances, a sacrifice bunt, then a sacrifice fly that knocked in the tying run. And that one snaps in there. Breaking ball for a called strike. It's 1-2.
Yeah, John, when Cook and I were playing, we didn't have the rehab assignments when you're on the disabled list. You came off the DL, you started playing. Now these guys go down and play some games at the minor league level, which is great.
At third base, Kuzminoff, the former Padre, and Sanchez goes down. 2 down. Coco Crisp was injured in an exhibition game, the Babe Ruth series at AT&T Park, on a steal attempt back on April the 2nd, and he broke the pinky finger.
And it was the tag that did it. The tag, the hard tag, I think it was Uribe who made the tag, slapped his glove into the finger and turned it sideways. And that was the beginning of the disabled list time for Coco.
Crisp has been at times a prolific base stealer in his major league career, but when you go in hands first, you're taking a risk, especially on a play like that where who knows what the guy covering might decide to do.
And you think all those stolen bases for Ricky Henderson, and he always slid head first. I don't know that Ricky could ever slide feet first. He went in, it's all like an airplane landing. And that's what he's trying to teach some of the kids during spring training when he came to camp and worked with the A's in the base running.
This is Pablo Sandoval with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Sandoval hitting .283, 3 home runs and 14 runs batted in. 2 down, nobody on. And a curveball off the outside. 2-1 to Sandoval.
Well, the Giants are pretty excited about Sandoval. They thought that in the Arizona series, he really started to put together some good, consistent swings. First time in about a month.
And the high-tight fastball at 94 miles an hour, leaning him back, and it's 3-1.
And for a while, he had a little push in his swing. He didn't have that bat snap and control of his bat head, but last couple of games, the ball started jumping off his bat again. That's a great sign.
At second base, Rosales, and that is the inning. So a strong first inning for Cahill. A couple of ground ball outs, and now Barry Zito to the hill. Against Barry Zito. For the Athletics, Coco Crisp just off the disabled list in center field. Derek Barton at first. Ryan Sweeney in right field, hitting .333 here at the Coliseum this year. Suzuki, the catcher, hits cleanup. Kuzminoff at third. Jack Cust, the DH. Rosales at second. Pennington at short. Rajay Davis, a former Giant, is in left field, batting ninth. And we are about ready to start the last half of the first inning. Crisp, very fast, a switch hitter. And Ray Fosse touched on it. The Athletics bringing him in. And in effect, their regular outfield features 3 center fielders. Rajay Davis, Coco Crisp, and Ryan Sweeney. So that group will cover a lot of ground.
And that's key, too, because the pitchers gives them a lot of confidence.
Zito off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zito in his last start got the win, Mike, but he battled out there. He wasn't as sharp as we've seen him most of the time in his early season starts. 1 ball, 1 strike to count, and that is off the outside. 2-1.
Take a look at the numbers for Barry Zito. 9th start, 6-1 with a 2.15 ERA. Just about a 1-to-1 innings to runners on base ratio, which is excellent. 34 strikeouts. 34 strikeouts in 54 innings. And when you're hitting off Barry Zito, you have to concern yourself with a lot of things. And one of them is late movement and location. When he has movement and location, he's going to battle you and he's going to give you a rough at bat. Cut to the fastball, big curveball, slider, and a changeup.
3-2. Veteran umpire Jerry Davis behind the plate. He's also the crew chief. Sam Holbrook, Brian Knight, and Greg Gibson on the bases from first to third. 3-2 to Coco Crisp. To right field. And there is one away. Andres Torres, who himself is a center fielder, covers a lot of ground. 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Giants' defense. It is the best defense in the National League. It'll be Bowker, Rowand, and Torres in your outfield. Uribe Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Sanchez and Huff on the right side. Eli Whiteside will do the catching tonight, putting down the fingers for Barry Zito. And Benji Molina will get a night off from catching. He will be the DH.
And Benji looked a little worn out last night in the desert. Here is Derek Barton, and he takes a ball down and away. Barton is hitting .277, 2 homers and 16 batted in. Gets a lot of walks, and he's hitting .350 at home. The Athletics for the year have a team average of .252, and they've averaged just under 4 runs per game. But they've hit a lot better at home than they've hit on the road, hitting .269 here at the Coliseum. That's a strike at the knees.
And for Derek Barton, he started in spring training very patient. Had basic eye surgery, so he's very confident. He's always been the type of hitter who stays back, waits. He will hit a lot of balls to the opposite field because he does wait so much. But he has a tremendous eye.
And a slider in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Sweeney, another lefty, is on deck. And the A's have 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup against the left-hander Zito. And a foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
And that's been an obstacle for Barry Zito. I mean, his 3 lifetime starts against the A's. I mean, he has not fared well at all. And it is definitely something you have to overcome. When you get traded from a team or you become a free agent, you go back to the team you came up with. It's a different game. It's a playoff game in your mind. You're pitching against your old uniform, and it's a different type of start, a different type of adrenaline.
Very high with a fastball. Full count, 3-2.
Take a look at the lifetime numbers against the A's, and they're ugly. 3 starts, 0-3, 9.22 ERA, 13 2/3 innings, 36 base runners.
Into left field, Bowker, and that is out number 2. Now the Bevmo, who's hot. Barry Zito, 3 road starts this year with a .89 earned run average. Trevor Cahill had been hot recently. His last 3 starts, a 2.55 ERA. Giant deals on the best selection of wine, beer, and spirits. Save Mo at Bevmo. And there's ball 1 to Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney is hitting .300 with 1 home run and 19 runs batted in. The Athletics in 42 games have only hit 25 home runs as a team, so they have not displayed a lot of power. That's not really a big part of their game. Much more of a sort of a speed type ball club.
Well, especially second half of last season, stole a lot of bases after some of the power guys were traded. Matt Holliday, Jason Giambi, Nomar stayed, but really not a lot of power, and they manufactured a lot of runs in the second half. And pitching, defense, and manufacture hit a few home runs every once in a while.
And that is off the inside. No swing, says third base umpire Greg Gibson on the appeal.
All right, did he go? Oh. He hits that, it's out of the ballpark.
That's along the left field line. Slicing back and into the lower deck is Bowker gave chase.
Let's take a look at the real check swing on the side. This is a better shot. Now watch the bad angle. Watch where it is.
Oh, that's a swing.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah, that's a swing and a half.
You know, had he actually hit the ball, I don't think he would have hit it out of the yard. Maybe a double off the wall.
Wind blown.
3-2 the count. There is Uribe. Got him by a step. 3 up, 3 down on both sides. A strong beginning for both Zito and Cahill. We go to the second.
The Giants have dominated the series of late, and how, in terms of Giants pitching, they have owned the A's. They've won 7 of the last 8 games, but take a look at the numbers. Our Toyota by the numbers, a 7-1 record with an ERA at 1.65. The A's batting average against the Giants pitching a 2.03. So hopefully Barry Zito hoping he can cash in here tonight.
That's Raj Mathai, sports director at NBC Bay Area. And I don't know, it seems to me he's really starting to come around now. He's starting to look real polished, real big time.
Yeah, I think Raj has got a future. It's taken him a while, though. I got to be honest with you.
We've really worked hard with him, and I think it's starting to pay off now. As Aubrey Huff hits one right back to Cahill. One away. That's the 3rd straight ground ball out induced by Trevor Cahill.
Well, what's the dynamic deal of the week, you ask? Well, left field bleacher tickets for the Tuesday, May 25th game. Giants going to take on the Nationals, and you can get those tickets for only $12. That's right, 12 bungeros to take advantage of the dynamic deal of the week, or to purchase tickets to any Giants game. Go to sfgiants.com, buy early and save.
Giants and the Nats on Tuesday. Giants back home at AT&T Park. The Nats come in. It's the beginning of a long homestand as Benji Molina takes ball 1. The Nationals have been one of the great surprises in the National League in the early going.
And they don't have Steven Strasburg yet. Just wait till he comes up, which sure will be soon.
They did bring up Drew Storen, one of their top draft choices out of Stanford, to bolster their bullpen. Molina looks at a fastball for a called strike. Benji keeps taking that low fastball. I thought that's not supposed to happen, Crew.
That's his wheelhouse. And you would think against a sinker baller like Cahill, good little ball hitter like Molina, that'd be a match made in heaven.
Right to Sweeney. And that is out number 2. Juan Uribe last night started to come back for the Giants in the 6th inning. What a shot that was.
Right. This is after the Giants had watched their 2-run lead go down the drain. A 5-run 5th inning for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and then the Giants came right back in and scored 5 at the top of the 6th to get Tim Lincecum off the hook. And it was this guy's igniter home run that really set the alarm clock running in the Giants dugout.
Well, it seems every time he swings, when he knows it's gone, he puts some power into it.
He's got great power and leads the Giants in RBIs so far this year. 5 homers, 25 batted in. John Bowker, who also homered right after Uribe's home run last night. First time this year the Giants had hit 2 home runs in succession. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, nobody on. The Giants looking for their first base runner against Trevor Cahill. And the curve is low for a ball. 2-1.
The first pitch called to Uribe was a fastball down. If you're a single ball pitcher, you want to be able to get the low strike. You do not want to have to elevate your pitches if you're not getting the low strike.
Well, Jerry Davis likes that knee-high strike. I mean, he's going to give you the knee-high consistently. He's one of the better low ball consistent strike zones in the game. He will give you some width on both sides of the plate. He does, however, have one weakness, and that is he will give up on breaking balls, and that's not something that favors Barry Zito.
No, and that's what we saw for 6 years in the American League. Umpires giving up on the very good curveball.
That one took off. Extraordinary movement there by Cahill, but out of the zone, almost hit Uribe, who becomes the first base runner of the game with the walk.
Well, for Trevor, it's all about release point consistency, and if he has had a problem last year, giving up 27 home runs, elevating some of his pitches, and well, once he gets the consistency in his release point, gets the ball down, gets the good sink on it, he's going to be able to hit him.
Cahill is only 22 years old. Here is John Bowker, and that is the high strike. 0-1 to Bowker, hitting .231, 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. And last night he got a shot filling in for Nate Scherholtz, who had a bruise in his shoulder. And the changeup is low. Bowker ended up with a double, a long home run, also hit a sacrifice fly. In fact, hit the ball real hard every time he was up. There's Scherholtz, who grew up a Giants fan in the East Bay, but the ballpark that was close by was the Coliseum. So he saw most of his big league games here at the Coliseum. As Bowker, we talked about that home run. Here it is from last night.
Now this is the second half of the back-to-back. Uribe hits the first home run, and then up comes John Bowker and does this. He's got a very compact swing. It's a swing that really, you look at the size of it, there's not a lot of length to it. You're thinking it's built for average, but he's got some power with it, which is why he's a guy that the scouts kind of lick their chops watching this guy swing because of how compact and powerful it is.
Well, apparently he cracked his back hitting that foul ball, so he gets a new piece of wood.
And one thing in watching that home run that I can see as a hitter, he hit it, he knew it was gone, put his head down, started running, not standing at home plate. And were you the first to call Reggie doing that, John? Standing at home plate?
Oh, man, the changeup strikes him out. And that is the inning. Oakland coming up.
See, have a mini suite. All you need is 6 people to reserve a mini suite experience. Game tickets and food package, including wings, sliders, hot dogs, popcorn, beer, and water, all for $99 per person. For more information or to reserve your mini suite today, call 510-638-GO-A's. That's 4627, or visit oaklandathletics.com/mini-suites. It's a great deal.
That's Ray Fosse, 13 years in the big leagues. Helped the Athletics get to and win. You were there for what?
Two
of those World Series. Yeah. Here is Kurt Suzuki, the current Oakland catcher.
He's good, John. You guys know that. He is good, and boy, he was missed, although Landon Powell did a great job in his absence.
Pulls that one foul against Zito on the curveball. The count quickly 0-2.
Yeah, I like him. I liked him as a catcher before I liked him as a hitter.
Yeah. Now, you maybe didn't know this, Ray, that this Kruk pitched for 14 years in the big leagues, but he was a catcher. That was where it all started for him.
I knew he was intelligent.
Hey, you didn't always feel that way, Ray.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
I was drafted by the Angels out of high school as a catcher. And actually as a catcher-pitcher, and I'd never pitched before. I thought it was a typographical error.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat, and there is Bowker, and 1 away. Well, Ray Fosse hit some home runs in his time. In 1974, when I was an A's broadcaster, he hit this one in the World Series against Don Sutton and the Dodgers.
Hanging curveball, John. Game 5. And that was fun.
And as Monty Moore used to say when the A's would hit a long home run, and there she goes. I thought that was one of the great home run calls I ever heard. That
great friend Monty Moore.
Now, that was a tough year for you, though, 74. Oh. You had the injury, breaking up a fight between a couple of teammates, and it cost you, what, half the season? And it was your worst year in the big leagues. You never got the back going. But all of a sudden in the postseason, you start banging home runs.
That was a fun postseason. One against the Orioles and Don Sutton. And we had an old-timers game here, and Don was still playing. And he actually threw at me as I came up to hit. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Paying you back." And I was retired. He was still pitching.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Kuzmanov, facing Zito here in the 2nd inning. So, Kruk, all of a sudden you started looking at Ray very kindly, seeing him hit a home run against the Dodgers.
I like that. I got to be honest with you. I was rooting for the A's back then in that series.
2-1 the count.
But
that is a ball too high.
I have to ask you, were you sitting on a breaking ball?
No.
What was the count?
I don't remember. All I know is that I always look fastball and try to adjust. And he happened to hang a curveball. He's using the big old B267. Big handle, big barrel, and let the bad head do the work.
In center field, there is Aaron Rowan. And out number 2. And so far, nobody's had a problem with a ball in the air.
Well, and Barry Zito pretty much true to form. He said he was a fly ball pitcher. 4 of the first 5 outs, balls in the air. Well, Ray, what size bat did you use? Were you like a 35-33?
Actually, I started the season 35-34. And then if I was playing every day, it might drop down to 32-33. But just one of those things, of the bigger the bat, the better the wood.
Well, that's what everybody thought, but that has totally changed in this modern day and age.
But we used to all get Reggie Jackson's bats. He put Reggie's name on it because he got the best wood.
8 grainers.
Here's Jack Cust, powerful left-handed hitter, and the slider from Zito, strike 1.
You know, we talked about the numbers lifetime that Zito has had against this A's team, and they're not good. 0-3. He's only throwing 13 2/3 innings in those 3 starts. But the A's have never seen him the way he has been pitching this year. It's a much different pitcher than what he's been the last 3 years.
And the slider is high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cust. 2 down, nobody on. Rosales on deck, would be next.
I would think for Barry Zito, with a 6-1 record, the way he's pitching this year, coming into this stadium where he's had 0 success as a Giant, he would have to say a whole different year for him.
That's a swing, says Jerry Davis, on yet another slider from Zito, and it's 1-2.
A pitch he didn't have when he's with the A's. Fastball, curveball, changeup. And if the umpires did not stay on the curveball, he didn't really have anything except the fastball and the changeup. But when the curveball was on, nobody could hit it.
A ball and 2 strikes to Cust. Fastball, strike 3 call. put him away on 3. His first strikeout. 6 up, 6 down. Andres Torres coming up.
.3D TV. With 3D this lifelike, can we still call it TV? I don't know. It's pretty good.
And this is interleague play. The Giants and the Athletics. No score as we start the Giants' third inning. Andres Torres, the hitter, against Trevor Cahill. Ball 1. Torres, Whiteside, and then leadoff man Aaron Rowan coming up. Neither team has a hit so far in this one. Andres Torres hitting .280 for the year. 2 homers, 11 batted in. He got the bat really going loudly here within the last several days.
Well, he calmed down a little bit in the Arizona series, but you know the point I wanted to make about Andres Torres, and I asked Ray about the size of the bat that he used, the 35-33 and 35-34. Torres uses a 35-33.
That's a base hit into the gap in right center field. Coco Crisp hustles over. Torres with great speed. Crisp cuts it off and cannot prevent him from making it into second easily. He might have saved him from going to third.
Well, we're going to make it our forward right choice. You use that 35-inch, 33-ounce bat. You drop the head on it, and it's going to jump. He finds a gap, and when this guy finds a gap, it's fun to watch him run. The fastest Giant. And when he finds a gap, he sniffs triple, and he goes until Tim Flannery, the Giants' third base coach, puts up the stop sign, which is how you're supposed to do it. And that's our forward right choice.
Well, Chris, you said it best. When you're using a heavier bat, you don't look so much for the bat speed, which a lighter bat allows hitters to stay back and be very quick with the bat speed. But there's nothing to be said anymore about the heavier bat. Just put it on it.
Here's Eli Whiteside. And then he hit that one down off his foot. Foul ball, strike 1. And Whiteside's job here to get Andres Torres to third at the very least. If he gets him home, that'd be nice. But to get him, at least get him to third with Rowan coming up next.
Well, the ground ball pitcher, you figure he's going to put the ball on the ground if Cahill is throwing a sinker. Now, the whole left side of the infield, they're expecting him to hit the ball to the right side because that hole on the left side, and this is where a lot of times you forget about trying to hit the ball to the right side. Pull it because the hole is there.
The shortstop way over toward the middle, and now he started to break to the bag as Cahill bluffed a pickoff to second base. The shortstop being Cliff Pennington.
Well, that's the beauty of having speed. If you force that shortstop to hold that runner on at second base, it opens up that side of the field, as you point out. Yep. And that's that hole you're talking about, Ray. And for a guy like Whiteside, who will pull the sinker more than go the opposite way, that's an opportunity.
Nice showing bunt. And takes a strike on the outside. Strike 2.
But, John, one of the things, and Crook, you know this as well as anybody, is a pitcher with a runner at second base. Figured he's not going to be able to put it down, so he's going to try to sacrifice. The tailing sinking fastball comes back. But ideally, with the runner at second, you want to pitch the right-hander inside, force him to pull the ball so he does not advance the runner. But here, if they do that, it's the perfect hole for him to hit it the right side to the left field.
Well, now he's going to be defensive. 2 strikes in the dirt. Nice save by Kurt Suzuki, keeping Torres at second.
Those are just as big as blocking the ball with a runner at third, because you keep the runner away from third base by blocking the ball. And Suzuki, excellent job. Ball came up as he did and actually caught the ball. Blocking is more of trying to just keep the ball off your body someplace and keep it soft around you.
Into the hole at short. Torres has to hold on. And Eli Whiteside is thrown out. A very nice play by Pennington from deep in the hole.
Well, he never really set his feet. I thought he may have hurried the play because Whiteside has average speed at best. But boy, you talk about a guy with a cannon off of a right foot release.
Now he has got the gun. I mean, he can throw as well as anybody. And when you catch and throw out the 27th out of a perfect game, it's all downhill for the rest of your career. What more could you expect to happen? Because he did it on Mother's Day. But he has a very, very strong arm. His hands are good, his range, and forget about what he does offensively. His defense is spectacular.
Well, here now is Aaron Rowan. And again, the bluff of a pickoff to second base with the second baseman Rosales coming in this time. So they're very concerned about keeping Andres Torres at second base. Aaron Rowan hit a fly ball to center his first time. In the dirt, and another nice save by Suzuki. That's 2 of them since Torres got to second base. 1 ball, no strikes.
Pitchers have so much confidence in Kurt Suzuki. They believe that he will block the balls. They know that they can keep the ball down, where ideally you want to do that as a pitcher. But Zook, can you believe that Brett Anderson went all of 2009 without 1 wild pitch? Finally had one in the start in Seattle in April. Whole season. And that says a lot about Suzuki and Landon Powell, who also caught last year.
And the sinker. Bounce foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rowan. No score in the game. Torres hitting the double here, leading off the inning. That is so far the only hit of the game. There's Freddie Sanchez out on deck.
Looks to me like Cahill's got a better sinker out of the stretch than he does the windup. Looks like he's got a shorter stride step to home plate.
That's a great point, and you're right. That's when he has his best, and as a result, not in this situation, but he gets some double play ground balls because of it.
To third, there's Kuzmanov. Again, Torres has to hold. 2 men gone, and the Giants have not been able to move Torres up, not even 1 base. Fans, for comprehensive coverage of everything orange and black, check out pregame live and postgame live before and after every Giants telecast on Comcast Sportsnet. Authentic Bay Area sports. I'm John Miller, along with Mike Krukow and Ray Fosse, as we are in Oakland, interleague play. It's the all Bay Area matchup. So we've got Giants broadcasters, A's broadcasters, all commingling in the same broadcast booth.
And a Hall of Fame broadcaster. We look forward to that July induction speech. Congratulations.
Well, thanks very much, Ray.
I can say that I was on the field when the Hall of Famer was making the calls from the booth. That's great. Happy for you.
Well, and for me, the big league broadcast career started right here at the Oakland Coliseum. With you catching those great Oakland pitchers, Catfish Hunter, Vida Blue, Ken Holtzman, Raleigh Fingers.
I just sat in a rocking chair. That's how easy it was catching those guys. I'd love to caught this guy over here.
I would like to have thrown to you.
Yeah.
I really would have.
That would have been nice.
For 2 years that I was in Chicago, I would go back and forth to Wrigley Field, about an hour and a half drive. Dennis Lamp and he and I would be picked up by Ken Holtzman. And Holtzy would tell us stories about those teams you guys had. And he always loved throwing to you. And you and Gene Tennis, guys that really just good solid targets and good catchers.
Kenny was great. He would say, when Dick Allen came up, he'd say, walk him. We'd have a scouting report, walk him. And I would actually sit behind the plate, and he'd keep moving me, and I'd end up in the left-handed batter's box. He did not want to pitch to him. He finally did hit a home run. He said, see what I told you?
Just off the outside with that fastball. The Giants got a leadoff double here, and their situational hitting has failed them. Whiteside could not get Torres over to third with a ground ball to short, and then Rowand grounded out to third. So Torres has been at second all through this inning. Right over the mound. Here is Pennington. Clean pickup. Inning over. Cahill gets out of a jam.
The D-backs will be in town. It'll be Giants Camp presented by CHW. And then Sunday, Giants Skateboard Deck presented by Full Throttle for 7,500 kids 14 and under. And then Monday, it'll be Giants T-shirt day presented by Vasca. Go to sfgiants.com and check it out.
Giants and the Arizona Diamondbacks for the weekend. And then on Monday, the actual Memorial Day holiday, the Colorado Rockies come in. Strike one to Adam Rosales, the Oakland second baseman. No score in the game. Zito with the curveball in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosales is hitting .266, 3 homers, 15 batted in. Cliff Pennington to follow, and then Rajay Davis here in the third. Change up. That's the first Oakland hit. It's solidly over the middle by Rosales.
Well, that's how you're going to have to beat Zito's big breaking ball. You're going to have to try and think the opposite way. Try and pull it, you roll over. Sit on the outside corner. A little bit of a hang to it, but still a nice job of going with the location.
And look at the bat. Bat stays back, body forward just a little bit, but that's the key to hitting the off-speed pitch, not be fooled and take the entire body forward. This kid loves to run. Everything is all out. 100% for him. Running, sprinting every place he goes.
Well, he's at first. Zito from the stretch for the first time as Pennington bunts it, but foul. Trying to push it up that first base side, but foul. And it's 0-1.
Saw something for the first time Monday night. Ryan Rowland-Smith pitching, and Adam Rosales with Jack Cust on first. Hit a home run. Rosales almost caught. Actually, he had to slow down because Cust went into a trot. Rosales was speeding around. By the time Jack Cust hit home plate, he turned around, and there was Rosales to give him a high five. He was chasing him, almost caught him. Unbelievable.
Rosales and the A's, Billy Beane, wanted him badly. He got him from the Cincinnati Reds, and he had to take on a big contract, Willie Tavares, to get Rosales. 0-1 the count. Pennington fouls one back to the screen on the high fastball, and quickly it's 0-2. Rajay Davis is on deck. Ryan Roligan is now in at short for the Giants. Juan Uribe has been taken out of the game. So Uribe, who may have hurt himself. That's a bloop into right field. That's in there. And it goes right by Andres Torres. And that will be an extra base for both runners. So Pennington dunks one in where nobody could get to it. And then Andres Torres neglected to pick the ball up.
Checked up on him just like a great golf shot, and he might have taken the ball, his eye off the ball momentarily as it spun away from him just to see what the runners were doing. And when it spun away, Adam Rosales had to hold up because he was playing shallow, make sure the ball dropped in.
And so the Athletics have a great opportunity now. Runners at second and third and nobody out. So here is Rajay Davis, the middle infield, back normal depth. And a foul out of play on a high slider.
Strikeout situation here for Zito.
Double all the way for Pennington.
And the ball did take a bad hop. You can see it very clearly. Pennington's 9th double of the year. Ground ball to a middle infielder would get a run home here. Off the fish, same spot. That one is in there. Rosales has scored and Pennington has scored, and safe at second is Rajay Davis. Davis with explosive speed turned that one into a double. 2-0 Oakland.
Well, the old saying goes about line drives in newspapers, last two have been exactly the opposite.
You're killing me here, Ray. You're killing me.
Oh, man. But Rajay Davis, what a fun player to watch with his speed. Very daring on the base paths. And he took what should have been just a single and turned it into a double with Rajay. And Barry, I agree. All you can do is just smile and say, wow.
2 bloops in a row to almost the identical spot. And both became doubles. 2-0 Oakland. Now Coco Crisp, another speedster. Tonight is really the first time this year that Oakland has almost all of its speed in the lineup at the same time. Crisp had not played after breaking his pinky finger in an exhibition just a couple of days before opening day.
Again, a strikeout situation. Runner at second, nobody out.
And for Coco, hit the ball to the right side to advance him, similar to the top of the order.
There goes Rajay. He wants to advance himself, and he makes it. Rajay Davis steals third base. His 14th steal of the year.
Now that's a big play because it's going to alter the way that the defense sets itself. You see the jump he had for Zito. 1.27 on the unload time, not bad, but still, once he turned his head, that was go time for Rajay Davis, and he takes full advantage of it, and that's a big play.
Well, that high leg kick too, Krupp, you saw that, and with Rajay Davis, a lot of times he wants to do everything himself on the base paths, and he is exciting, and he does some of the most amazing things when he gets on, and he's been doing it more lately because he's able to get on base.
So now a runner at third, 2 runs already in, nobody out. The infield comes in all the way around for the Giants. And a fly ball into medium left center field. That should score Rajay Davis easily. Bowker with the throw in, but it's much too late. And it's 3-0 Oakland.
Well, welcome back, Coco Crisp. Exactly what you're supposed to do with a runner at third base. Find a way to hit the ball to the outfield deep enough. And, of course, for the speed of Rajay Davis, it does not have to be too deep.
So the Athletics, we talked about the lack of power, and this is the way it was designed to work. Put the ball in play, take extra bases, and the Athletics have been running circles around the Giants in this inning, and nobody. That was one of the best hit balls of the whole inning right there. That easy looking fly ball to left center. 1 ball, 1 strike to Derek Barton, who flied out to left his first time. Zito tries the curve, misses badly with it. 2-1 the count. 1 out, 3 runs in for the Athletics.
Yeah, this is a big hitter too. I mean, the 3 runs are in, but there's nobody on base. And basically, you have a chance to calm things down, minimize the damage. But this hitter becomes a big hitter.
Because if he gets on base, then all of a sudden the momentum starts to gather again against you.
One thing, too, and there are 3 lefties in the lineup, as John mentioned, but for a lefty, because so many right-handed are hit against him.
That's into left field, and Bowker out number 2.
I think a lot of times when a lefty all of a sudden sees a left-handed hitter in the lineup, it changes everything. Because he's accustomed to saying righty, 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 and here comes a lefty, and he's just trying to pitch. And I think with Jamie Moyer, you guys see him in the National League now, but we saw him in the American League so many times right-handers that face him. He ate them up with a changeup. Then lefties. They started loading the lineup with lefties, so he started throwing a changeup to the lefties and changed everything.
Here is Sweeney. As you know, he really would not throw a changeup to a lefty when he first came to the Giants. Sweeney grounded to short his first time, and a fastball in there for a strike. A ball and a strike. A single by Rosales up the middle started the inning. Then Pennington hit a bloop, a pop-up, just barely fair, right inside the line and very shallow right that nobody could get to. And that went for a double as it took a bad hop and bounced away from Torres. And then Rajay Davis popped one up to the very same spot, and he hustled it into a double. Those 2 runs scored, and then the fly ball by Chris, but got him home after Davis stole third. So the Athletics with the speed in full force and on display here in the 3rd.
Kind of reminds you a little bit of Campy and North and guys running.
The A's, when they had the great clubs back there in the early 70s, could score many, many different ways. Zito with the strikeout. Sandoval coming up.
A's fans and Giants fans always wondering what's happening in the minor leagues in terms of Sacramento for the A's and Fresno for the Giants. And that leads us to our Xfinity Future Focus. Here are some guys that are doing pretty well for the Giants at AAA Fresno. Buster Posey in 39 games has a .340 batting average with 5 home runs. Madison Bumgarner started with a little shaky this season, but has come on strong. His last 6 starts, he's 3-0. And the surprise could be Eric Hacker. In his 8 starts, he has a 7-1 record with a 2.20 ERA. We could be seeing these guys sooner than later, gentlemen.
That's Rajay Davis of the Athletics, but Raj Mathai on the NBC Bay Area Giants television network, and also the sports director at NBC Bay Area. Thanks, Raj. Got probably the all-time Major League record for Rajas in one ballpark as Sandoval hammers one into the gap in left center. Rajay Davis cuts it off. You see that Oakland speed on display on the bases, and now in the outfield with basically 3 center fielders covering the outfield gaps.
That's a great point, John, because swing by Sandoval and off speed stays back. But the one thing of the speed, if you can keep the double play in order, especially with a single ball pitcher, that's what you like to see. But man, does he ever swing at a pitch that's a strike?
That's the first ball I've ever seen hit that was a strike.
And out of play by Aubrey Huff, Giants cleanup man. Giants are trailing now after Oakland's 3 spot in the 3rd against Zito. You got a lot of time to try and catch up in this game. Huff hitting .280, 4 homers, 20 batted in. He went back to the pitcher his first time.
6 ground ball outs already for Trevor Cahill.
That's a bloop. That's falling. It's in there. Racing out from short was Pennington. He never gave up on it. And Sandoval, as a result, had to hold on just to make sure. And sometimes you'll see a shortstop start out in the ball like that and say, well, I can't get to it. And that runner judges the center field is not going to catch it. He just keeps on going. But Pennington just kept sprinting out like he had a shot at it.
Well, Sandoval did have to hold his ground a bit. I mean, if he identifies early, you can see him sort of jogging into second base. If he identifies early, that ball's going to drop. He'd have been at third base, but
he had a good aim, and he'd be able to see that Pennington was not going to be able to get to the ball.
Here is Benji Molina. The Giants with 2 men on and nobody out. Benji lined out to the right fielder his first time.
After the A's, this is where you hope a ground ball is hit to the third baseman, right? Because you could step on third, throw to second, throw to first, and we'd see something you don't see often.
You're thinking of the Benji Molina from the American League.
Ray, those are bad thoughts, Ray.
Rajay Davis and Molina is retired for out number 1.
A's do a great commercial with Rajay Davis about how he does everything fast. Speeds up. That's Rajay. Everything is fast for him. And I think what Landon Powell said best, the one player he'd like to be is Rajay Davis, just so he can see what it's like to be fast. If you can't run, then you want to see what it's like and feel like being able to run fast. And Rajay can do that.
Rajay is really fast.
Yes.
An exciting player. And I think everybody got to know him when he was with the Giants. Is happy to see him get a chance to play here. And that's a double play ball by Ryan Rollinger in his first at bat after replacing Uribe. And just like that, the inning is over.
First, when the Giants take on the Colorado Rockies, and your ticket for the game will be in one of the special Irish Heritage sections. Plus, you get here early. There'll be Irish cultural music, party and pot lot D. All you got to do is call 415-972-2298. And if you get there, you're going to get this limited edition Irish themed T-shirt, but you have to get a special event ticket to get the T-shirt.
Barry Zito back to work, trailing 3-0. Kurt Suzuki shows bunt and then took a ball out of the strike zone. Suzuki hit a fly ball to left center his first time. 3-0. The Athletics lead the Giants. Giants got a threat there in the 4th inning, but it disappeared in a hurry. That pop-up behind the plate, Whiteside. And it just went over the screen.
Great
he actually
deke.
was reaching up for it.
That's the deke of the year right there by Whiteside.
Well, with the diamond level seating behind the stadium, behind home plate here, it's actually shorter between home plate and diamond level than it is from the mound to home plate. So with the diamond level, it's taking some foul territory, and that's about the only place where it's taking foul territory, because down the lines there's a tremendous amount.
And we're going to see it in action right here. Sandoval, no. So then all of that foul territory didn't do the Giants any good that time.
It's amazing to go on the road, the other 13 American League parks, with all this foul territory here, and to see how many balls that are hit that go in the seats that are outs here. And of course, you get extra bats on the road. At this place, no wonder pitchers like to pitch here. Oh, there's so many outs that are given extra because of it.
Before you put Mount Davis in, this really was one of the greatest places on the planet to pitch. Just a big yard and you know, big foul territory. It's always cool.
2-2 now to Kurt Suzuki. They used to be able to see out to the East Bay Hills. They had the bleachers that would ring the outfield, and then some concession stands behind that, and an ice plant beneath the scoreboards. That one hit him. So Zito not able to put Suzuki away, and instead puts him on with a ball off Suzuki.
That's a mistake. He had a 2-2 count. Tries to cut a fastball on the inside corner and just pulls it into his leg. And you have a 2-strike count on a guy, a chance to go out of the strike zone, and you wind up hitting him to lead off an inning. That's a mistake.
So now Kuzmanov will come up. Kuzmanov, big right-handed hitter, acquired from the Padres in the offseason. And he's got a lot of power. So far, only 3 homers for Oakland, but 21 runs batted in. He leads the Athletics in RBIs. He flied out to center his first time. And that one is off the inside for ball 1.
Similarities a little bit for Kevin Kuzmanov playing with the Padres at Petco Park, where big stadium. I understand ball doesn't carry all that well. It's kind of the same thing here. Ball does not carry well at the Coliseum. But Kuz hit his last home run was to right center a couple of nights ago, which shows his power to the all fields.
Well, you watch his style of hitting, and he has really almost no hand movement to the ball. You talk about a small load. This is as small load as there is in the game.
And the pop foul out of play. A ball and a strike to Kuzmanov.
Well, he is set up, and as Kirk said, just no movement. He goes straight from where he is there to the ball. Lifts the leg, but a lot of guys will have some movement with their hands going up, down, back, just to get themselves going. But not Kuz.
Yeah, he was hitting the day batting practice in the same group as Jack Cust, who really has big hitch, big, drops his hands real low.
Off the hands and back out of play. Strike 2.
Just a true contrast in hitting styles. And just, you know, I mean, baseball, it really doesn't make a difference how you get from point A to point B. Everybody can have their own version of doing it. They're two very, very different styles of getting there if you compare Kuzmanov to Cust.
And Cust is on deck. Suzuki at first, nobody out. And that fastball is fouled off to the right and out of play into the lower deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Coliseum, which opened in 1966, and the Oakland Raiders moved in here. And in the summertime, the A's were still in Kansas City, and they had a professional soccer team here, the Oakland Clippers, that played for a couple of years in what was called the National Professional Soccer League, the NPSL.
Did you broadcast for them?
I was in high school.
So, did you broadcast for them?
But I did see a couple of games. We take the AC Transit from Hayward over here to the Coliseum. And then in 1968, the A's moved in. And the Coliseum became a baseball and football multi-purpose venue. 1-2 the count. Curveball to third, should be 2. Sandoval to second, 1. Sanchez to first, 2. A double play. Back in 1968, the year the A's arrived in Oakland, Jim Catfish Hunter pitched a perfect game. Monty Moore, the great voice of the A's, that was his scorecard. There were no television broadcasts of that game. Nobody was here filming the game at all. And all that we have left is the result and some still photos. Monty Moore told me the story that the TV stations used to send cameramen over to make highlights early in the game. But about the fourth inning or so, they pack up to take it back to the stations in San Francisco so that the film could be developed for highlights for the 11 o'clock news. As Jack Cust hits a single into right field to keep the inning going. 2 down, and Cust is aboard.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen him swing at a first pitch.
He's been doing it more. He joined the club Monday, Kruk, and I agree with you. He's been very patient, but more and more swinging at first pitches. And, of course, the scouting report on him, he takes pitches. A lot of guys would throw first pitch fastballs to get ahead. That time, Barry threw him a curveball, maybe thinking that he would be swinging. That big hitch that you talked about, drove it into right field.
So now Adam Rosales, who started that 3-run third-inning rally with a single to center, and he takes a called strike.
Yeah, that's what I love about this game. I love scouts, and scouts don't miss stuff like that. And if you have any kind of a tendency that can be picked up and perceived as a weakness, you're going to get exploited up here. And it won't take long. And if you have the tendency to take a lot of first pitches, you're going to be 0-1 with guys on easy fastballs.
You should tell a story about Wade Boggs, who, of course, eventually went to the Hall of Fame. 3,000 hits, great hitter, but almost in a superstitious way, would never swing at the first pitch. His manager, Joe Morgan, not the Joe Morgan, but the manager, Joe Morgan, kept saying, you know, they just throw that pitch right in there. If you just swing at it every once in a while, I don't mean all the time, just every once in a while, just so maybe they'll start behind you a little more often. So Boggs said, all right. First at bat that day, right down the middle, shot, line drive, right to the second baseman. That was the last time he swung at the first pitch. Until sometime the next season. The big curveball. A 1-2 count now to Rosales.
Well, Wade Boggs did not like the Coliseum. He said it was too bright and all the foul territory. When they built Mountain Davis, he took Bart from San Francisco in, got off the Bart ramp, walked in from the center field where they have the big garage door open. He did not look back until he got to home plate. He turned around and looked. He said, I love it. Because all that hitter's background, and he became a much different hitter because he could see the ball.
Wow.
But he ate chicken every day. Every meal before the game, he ate chicken.
Yeah, always at exactly the same time.
Yeah. They try to change the clocks, see if they could mess him up. You couldn't mess him up. His mind was set on every minute of the day.
1-2 to Rosales. And Zito strikes him out with a fastball. The inning is over. On to the fifth inning. Bowker coming up with the Giants. Then Torres. 3-0 Oakland. Brought to you by your Northern California Honda dealers, who invite you to come in today for special zero-down lease offers on new 2010 models. In American League Parks, the Ohio, the Reds over the Clevelands. The Rangers beat the Cubs in Arlington. The Royals over the Rockies 9-2. As we start the Giants' fifth inning, John Bowker, who struck out his first time, takes ball one from Trevor Cahill. 3-0, Oakland ahead as we play the fifth inning. Bowker, Torres, and Whiteside, the last third of the Giants' batting order, coming up here. And that's called a strike. Trevor Cahill has continued to get the Giants to hit the ball on the ground, including an inning-ending double play in that fourth inning. And the backdoor breaking ball just off the outside. 2-1 the count to John Bowker. Had a long home run last night in Arizona. Vastly different conditions and are present here in Oakland tonight. It was 92 degrees at game time last night with the roof open in the desert.
Did they have it open?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Never been there, of course, a couple of times for interleague play, but it was always in the middle of the summer. It was 100 degrees, and it was always closed.
Well, it was 100 degrees yesterday, but that was before we played the game. It was only 92, so they opened it. 3-2 the count to Bowker. We'll go back to those out-of-town scores here in a moment. Bowker hits it hard. Rosales gets to it, up to his feet, and throws him out. Nice play.
Pretty nice bit of glove work there from Rosales. We're going to make it our Lexus Pursuing Perfection play. And when you have a sinker baller who works quick, you always make your infielders better. And Rosales staying with this play nicely. Quickly to his feet, shoots him down. It's a nice thing when you have a play like that. You know you have time because you don't have a long throw. Lexus Pursuing Perfection play.
And that's a shot hit by Torres to the other side of Rosales. And he grabs that one cleanly. Out number 2. 2 down and nobody on. The other scores in the games in the American League ballparks, the Twins annihilated the Brewers 15-3. And the Mariners lead the Padres up in Seattle 8-4 in the top of the fourth inning. Those are the games in the American League ballparks in this first day of interleague play in 2010. A lot of games in the National League parks. One that was of particular interest, you had the Tampa Bay Rays, the team with the best record in all of baseball, playing in Houston against the Astros, who have had the worst record in the major leagues other than Baltimore. The Astros have just been a woeful tale so far this year. Eli Whiteside, the hitter, and the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Whiteside grounded to short his first time, getting 326 so far for the year.
So if you're Brad Mills, you really want to manage, don't you, for the first time? Poor guy, such a great person, and gets that job, and the struggle for the Astros.
It's been a nightmare. He's going to get a new bat. The National League Park scores: Braves over the Pirates. The Orioles beat Washington. The Phillies beat the Red Sox in Philly. The Yankees in the Subway Series over the Mets. And look at that one. The Astros beat the Tampa Bay Rays. Just like we thought. 2-1. The Cardinals over the Angels. The Diamondbacks lead the Blue Jays in the desert, last of the 6th inning. And the Tigers and Dodgers are 1-1, top of the 5th inning at Dodger Stadium.
Let down for the Rays. They just defeated the Yankees twice at Yankee Stadium. They go to Houston and trying to keep that same intensity. It just didn't work.
I have to admit, I really did not see that one coming. The Houston Astros beating the Rays.
A natural rivalry. What do you expect? I mean, that's just natural.
That's it for Eli Whiteside of the Giants. Last of the 5th inning. Zito back to the hill.
director right in your own home controlling the game video. We flash back 2 years ago, June 13, 2008. Omar Vizquel against the A's steals home the only run the Giants score. They lost that game 5-1. Brought to you by our Xfinity Game Vision, powered by Xfinity TV on demand. Omar Vizquel still doing it, playing for the Chicago White Sox now for Ozzie Guillen. Guys, up to you.
All right, Raj, and that was a memorable moment in this interleague series between the Giants and the A's.
Greg Smith on the mound now with the Rockies.
There's a strike on the outside to Cliff Pennington from Barry Zito. Pennington hit the first of those two bloop doubles along the right field line that fueled that 3-run third-inning rally. And he takes a called strike. It's 0-2. Rajay Davis on deck, then leadoff man Coco Crisp. 3 homers, 17 batted in. But he's a shortstop sort of in the old mode when the idea was just get the best glove you can get. If he hit a little bit, okay, all the better. That was the kind of shortstop that Vizquel was viewed as when he first came along.
Well, you always want to look up the middle defensively for your strength. Catcher, short, second, center field. Of course, great pitching staff. You can win a lot of games that way with your power at first and third, right and left, as far as your power hitters.
2-2 the count. And a pop-up foul, and that will go back and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Mike, the Giants, back in your 20-win season, they were very strong up the middle with great double play combination.
Robbie Thompson, Jose Uribe, Bob Brinley behind the plate. And Chili Davis will play a lot of center field that season.
2-2. Curveball, and that's too low. Full count.
But, you know, we had the feeling back in the 80s that if you put the ball in play, it was going to get caught. And that's such a great confidence to have for a pitching staff. Just put the ball in play, and it makes you much more confident going in the strike zone.
In play, Rowand still going back. He had a long run for that one and caught up to it. 1 away.
Oh, that's some carry. Well, Giants baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst in English. Check out the crowd through the thirst inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do. The thirst inning fan cam.
And there are more fans who paid their way into the ballpark tonight than in any Oakland game this year. Rajay Davis in play, and Rollinger at shortstop. And quickly, 2 men gone.
Ball's not carrying to left, Ray.
Well, those 2 guys who hit the bloops last at bat, 2 outs here.
Hey, hit with dish rags. You know, that's one thing about baseball. You know, it doesn't have to be a line drive. It just doesn't.
So you're going to check the box scores tomorrow morning? Take a look at some of the hits tonight?
Be a line drive tomorrow, Dad.
What do you got there?
Coco Crisp, the leadoff man, his first game of the year, has flied out to right, and he has knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly. 0-1 the count. Crisp, who he started with Cleveland and then started moving around a little bit. He had some time in Boston, and for a little while there, the Red Sox, who you always remember as being a slugging team with never a whole lot of speed, all of a sudden they had Coco Crisp and Julio Lugo, and they were both stealing 35, 40, 50 bases a year there for a couple of years.
And before that, the last one was Tommy Harper. That's the Red Sox, and stole a lot of bases.
Deep in the hole, Rollinger, and Coco Crisp was just too fast. As soon as it got into the hole, Crisp was going to have a single, and Rollinger did a good job just to hold on to that one.
John, it's amazing for Coco Crisp, of course, signing as free agent during the offseason. Came in, had shoulder problems, surgeries last year, and did not play that much in the spring. But once he started playing, all of a sudden he's getting hit after hit after hit. And here he is tonight. He has not played, this being the A's 43rd game, and it's a first for him. He has a sac fly and a base hit, and he's 1 for 2 in his first game. So the excitement that everybody had been looking forward to, he's providing it tonight.
And I'm guessing with 2 down and Derek Barton up there, he's looking to steal his first bag right here.
We said that in San Francisco when he slid in head first and broke his finger. So the answer is no. He's not going to be stealing now. At least I think Bob Guerin's hoping that is not the case.
So his record in base stealing against the Giants so far this year is rather distressing. He's got some protection on that pinky finger.
I think guys should have protective pieces on their hands. It should be automatic when they get on first base.
I agree.
Especially if the guy has a tendency to go head first. I mean, it's so easy to mess your hand up, and it's so easy to prevent it.
Of course, they're trying to speed up the game. You better be prepared to do it quickly at first, because it does take some time by the time you do put all the various protection apparatus on your hands.
Well, I foresee a time where the first base coach is going to look like a sporting goods store.
Good point.
Shin pads and knee guards and ankle busters and wrist pads.
They got it picked off. And Huff over to Rollinger. Rollinger almost waited too long there to make the tag. That's the inning. On to the sixth, top of the order for the Giants. Comcast Sportsnet has complete Giants coverage on Sportsnet Central every night at 10:30. Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports. From the Oakland Coliseum, Interleague play 2010, the Giants and the Athletics. From the Coliseum, the home of the A's, I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow and longtime A's player and broadcaster Ray Fosse. It's 3-0. Oakland leading as Trevor Cahill, the 22-year-old right-hander, throws ball one inside to Aaron Rowan. Rowan is flied out to center and grounded out to third.
Now this is a big inning for the Giants. They got the top of their lineup coming up. Down 3 runs. They need to make some noise.
And a foul. The Giants have had a couple of opportunities, but they let both go by the boards. They get a leadoff double by Andres Torres in the third inning and never advanced him beyond second base. And then they got consecutive singles to start the fourth inning from Sandoval and off. And 2 pitches ended up destroying that inning. Molina hit one for a shallow fly ball out, and the next one was hit by Rollinger for an inning-ending double play. Now we're in the 6th. Off the outside. 2-2 to Rollinger. To Rowan.
He uses that 4-seam fastball off the 2-seamer, and really he uses it always, and it seems like in 2-strike situations. Reminds me of Rick Russell.
Struck him out.
Follows the 4-seam fastball up with a nice little changeup. So we'll make that our Rambus radar gun speed pitch, and it's an 83-mile-an-hour changeup. But after that fastball at 92, really Gets Rowan off balance. Nice pitch. Rambus at the heart of the products you love.
Trevor Cahill, we mentioned a sinker ball pitcher, but this year he's throwing more curves than sliders that he did last year. 2 and 4 seam fastball with a changeup. So a nice mixture for him. If you're into pitch counts through the first 5 innings, average about 12 per inning, which times 9, that'll get you a nice complete game with about 108.
In the right center by Sanchez. That gets down for a hit. Cut off by Sweeney. Sanchez is going to test him. Here comes a throw. And he's safe. Wow. And that was a close one. Great throw by Sweeney. And Pennington has a little argument here with the second base umpire, Brian Knight.
But I think you're going to see with a slide, head first slide by Sanchez. Ryan Sweeney, one of the best throwing arms in the outfield. But watch him come over the hands around the base. He actually went over the tag with his right hand, and an outstanding slide by Sanchez. Throw beat him.
You have to tip your cap to Brian Knight, the umpire, because a lot of umpires, the ball beats the guy there. Right. Whether he tags him or not, they ring him up. Oh, some creative arm work there from Sanchez. I want him on my dodgeball team, Daddy.
But you're right about the umpire. You do. If the ball beats the runner to the base, he is usually called out.
So here is Sandoval. And that one took a bite out of the leg of Kurt Suzuki, the catcher.
Ray, you missed those?
It just hurt me just sitting here.
I see you rubbing your thigh.
Suzuki's already been hit once by Zito and then takes a foul ball.
What was the one that just bothered you the most? The shoulder point on the throwing arm?
No, it was, you check the shin guards, these players now. This one hit on top of the shin guard. We used shin guards that did not wrap up over the top of the knee and the lower part of the quad. And all you do is get hit right on top and miss the shin guard. And you were out a few days because you could not get down in your catcher's position because of the muscle right above the knee. So these shin guards, they not only wrap over the top of the knee, but over the feet. So that's what, when you see catchers stand up and want the high target, they're exposing their whole body. It's unprotected.
1 strike to Sandoval, and he lays off that high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aubrey Huff on deck. Well, Freddie Sanchez hustling his single into a double. In fact, there was a little more than just hustling it into. He also had a little, almost like a magic trick to beat the tag at second base. 1-1 the count. And ball 2 from Cahill.
Ryan Sweeney has such a great arm in right field, and he has the true right fielder's arm strength. And he took a ball off the out-of-town scoreboard against Seattle. Casey Kochman caught it barehanded. As he said, it almost hit him in the face. Caught it barehanded, making a perfect throw to second. You get Kochman trying to stretch it into a double.
Well, it'd be hard to see a better throw than Sweeney made to try and get Sanchez at second base. 3-1 the count to Pablo Sandoval. There is Aubrey Huff on deck. A little flare, but there is Rajay Davis. Back to second and offline. Rajay's got a very strong arm too.
Oh, but the speed though, and you know, you look back to the perfect game thrown by Dallas Braden. Rajay Davis in the outfield, it's amazing how many of the bloops that were robbed of possible base hits.
Number 17.
You got to go halfway. You can't get out there too far, especially if you've got good arms in the outfield.
See the frustration there for Pablo. He had a 3-1 count and was only able to hit a pop-up. So 2 down, and here is Aubrey Huff. The Giants have not had a hit with a runner in scoring position yet. The curveball is too low. Aubrey Huff has hit one back to the pitcher and singled. He is 1 for 2. The Giants are 0 for 6 in their at-bats with runners in scoring position as a team. 3-0, Oakland ahead in the 6th. Ooh, there's that changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you guys got to see Greg Maddux for so many years in the National League with that great two-seamer starting inside and the changeup. And well, these sinker ball pitchers, they develop that kind of a pitch, push the left-handers back and bring it back to the inside or the plate. It's a tremendous pitch.
Like that. Just missed a little inside. I agree. I mean, front door sinker, it's such a weapon. Fastball has always been the best pitch in baseball. And for a guy who really truly understands movement and how to pitch with it, it's the best weapon there is.
And right back for strike 2. That one just disappeared.
Change up, good one. It's been a good pitch for him tonight. Nobody's really squared it up. I think you get in there against Cahill, you're going to be aware of the sinker.
Yeah.
But he's impressed me tonight with the way he's used the four-seam fastball as well as that changeup. He's had everything working. Curveball's been good.
Sanchez at second, 2 down. And right back to it again for the strikeout. So it goes for the Giants this night against Trevor Cahill. Always at Fry's Guaranteed. Downtown Oakland, there's the historic Tribune building, home of the Oakland Tribune. We are in Oakland tonight. The Giants and the Athletics interleague play. And there's a ball too high to Derek Barton. Barton was at the plate when Coco Crisp was picked off to end the last of the 5th. We're in the 6th inning now, 3-0. Oakland still ahead. And Zito cups in the curveball for a strike.
This has been a good old-fashioned pitching duel. Both pitchers have thrown the ball very well tonight.
And the slider down and away. In fact, Zito, 3 runs on the board, but most times if you get a big league hitter to hit a pop-up, that's good. But the A's had a couple of pop-ups that fell where nobody could get to them, and both became doubles. Now that ball is hit well. Torres, he'll have to chase it. Barton easily into second with a double.
Now Derek Barton, as I mentioned, usually hits a lot of pitches to the opposite field, but with a 2-1 pitch, got a curveball, stayed on it, and again, because he waits so well, planted the front foot, kept the bat back, and just used upper body to generate some pretty good pop to right field. The ball hooking away from the right fielder.
It's one of the better hit balls of the game for the Athletics. Pennington hit one that ended up going into deep center, leading off in the 5th inning, that also turned into an out, unlike this one. And there's a strike to Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney has grounded a short and struck out. Sandoval playing him shallow at third. Sweeney came into the game hitting .300 for the year. trying to move Derek Barton up.
Similar situation, and a coach can give a sign. You get him over any way you feel you can. If you don't think you can pull the ball swinging, bunt. That's what Ryan Sweeney attempted to do in the first pitch.
One strike to count. Now Zito wants Eli Whiteside to come out. We'll talk it over. Tune into the NBC Bay Area morning news for early news, traffic, and weather updates. Weekdays starting at 4:30. I don't know about you and the Oakland broadcasters, Ray, but Mike and I, we're up there every morning, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to catch all the latest because it's such a good show. If you'd like, maybe Monday we'll give you a ring and get you up, and so you don't miss it. And that's a base hit to center, and that will get Barton the home. Here comes the throw by Rowan, cut off by Aubrey Huff, and it's 4-0 A's. Well, they had a big meeting about that pitch, and whatever they discussed, it just didn't work.
Well, Ryan really trying to get out front and pull the ball. He got the curveball, and I guess if you are trying to pull a pitch, you're hoping for something off speed. If you're a left-handed hitter facing left-handed pitcher, and he got it.
He had good balance in that swing. It looked to me like he was waiting for something off speed.
He's a big, powerful, strong, but he doesn't drive the ball. He's more of an opposite field and drives the ball gap to gap, which eventually, and he's still young, he'll hit a lot of home runs.
4-0 Oakland as Suzuki hits a double play ball to second, backhanded for one, and over to first. Double play. Sanchez with the quick feed to Rollinger, and they double up Suzuki. 2 down, nobody on.
Giants fans are going to get to know Freddie Sanchez, and he has excellent hands. Nice high feed above the belt.
A backhand flip. That's guy knows how to handle how far he is from the bag to be able to make that kind of a flip. A little bit extra on it.
So 2 down, nobody on, and here is Kevin Kuzmanoff, who has flied out to center and grounded into a double play. A couple of double plays induced by Zito now. And there's ball one. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Athletics. No runs, 4 hits for the Giants. But the Giants have had some base runners and not been able to move them up. Oakland has made good use of its base runners. Sanchez wants this one now into the outfield and makes the catch. That wasn't easy. Jr. Get into summer with the Hawaiian teriyaki chicken sandwich. With grilled pineapple and teriyaki sauce. New at Carl's Jr.
You love that spot, don't you?
I love that teriyaki chicken sandwich. 4 runs, 7 hits for Oakland. No runs, 4 hits for the Giants. And Trevor Cahill carries his shutout into the 7th inning now and throws a called strike, painting the outside corner to Benji Molina. Molina has lined out to right and flied out to shallow left center. Rolling on deck, Bowker to third, and he hits that breaking ball right back to the young right-hander. Cahill throws him out. There is one away. Cahill continues to get the ground balls, and for the 2nd year in a row, he is just shutting the Giants down in this ballpark, just as he did last year.
And that's the 10th ground ball out, 3rd consecutive game with double figures in ground ball outs.
Barry Zito, meanwhile, he's allowed 4 runs, 7 hits. But the first 3 runs, a single to center and a couple of bloops to right
field.
Easy. Dead birds.
Careful, Ray. We may just go ahead and show the replay again. So
we're a little sensitive here. I'll tell you what, though, in regards to Cahill, the Giants have had a leadoff double in the 3rd, and they had a 1-out double in the 6th, and they could not get the runner over to 3rd.
And a foul is back out of play. That was in the 3rd, a leadoff double by Torres, and Whiteside ended up hitting a ground ball to short. And Torres never did get past second base in that inning. They had 2 singles to start the 4th inning. 2 men on, nobody out. Molina hit a pop fly to shallow left center for an out, and Rollinger grounded into an inning-ending double play on the next pitch. And that changeup low and outside. Sanchez hit a 1-out double in the 6th inning with Sandoval and Huff coming up, but that's when Cahill shut the doors. So Giants have had their chances against him and then come up empty. High in the air to left field, on the move, Rajay Davis gliding across the green, and that's all for Rollinger. Juan Uribe left the game in the 3rd inning with a tight hamstring, and this was his 1 trip to the plate back in the 2nd. Did you see something?
Yeah, right there. You can see as he backed up, and kind of, I think he did it right there. Kind of stiffened his leg a little bit and then limped coming out of home plate. Good shot, guys. That's probably the reason he's in the clubhouse right now. Eating some of Mikey Thalman's food and getting some ice.
And a slider is too high to John Bowker, who has struck out and grounded out second, and the second baseman Rosales turned in a very nice play to get him on a ground ball. It was threatening to head right into right field.
And you thought that teriyaki burger was good. You ought to be down the club. You've been in the clubhouse. You see all these post-game spreads they have now? I mean, they're 5-course meals.
I'm never invited. We had the post-game wrap, you know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Go right past the meal.
Can't be our radio network. Bare hand pickup, Kuzmanov. Not in time. So John Bowker gets his first hit, a 70-foot single.
That was a thing right here. A thing of beauty. A swinging bunt. Really not a whole lot Kuzmanov can do. And he is excellent at fielding a bunt or a ball that is hit short to him. Not much you can do there.
3 errors all of last season for Kevin Kuzmanov playing for the Padres. And similar play. Kurt Young's going to visit the right-hander. His pitch count up to 90. Brad Ziegler, the right-hander, the submariner, was getting ready. But again, you see these plays. Kuzmanov not able to throw out Bowker, but Jason Bartlett topped the ball in the perfect game. Similar play. Kuzmanov charged, threw him out by just an eyelash. And again, you think about all the plays that could happen to prevent not only a no-hitter, but a perfect game in particular. And you have 21 balls put in play. And Kuzmanov made several great plays in that perfect game.
Here's Andres Torres, who hit a double back in the 3rd inning. Also lined hard, but right to the second baseman in the 5th inning. So Andres is throwing the bat real well tonight. 1 hit, 2 at bats. 4-0, Oakland ahead. And Andres takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last year, June 22nd in this ballpark, Trevor Cahill went 7. 1 run, 4 hits allowed. 6 2/3 tonight. No runs, 5 hits allowed. And it almost seems like the same game. The Giants have not scored, but Otherwise, same guy, same game. He is sensational.
Well, he established early on in this game that he had all his pitches working. Sinker, changeup off the sinker, a four-seam fastball, and the curveball's been a good pitch for him as well. We're going to have a little timeout here as the ball got away from the A's bullpen.
He's a little jumpy, too. Cahill's on the mound, second base umpire. Brian, that called time, and Cahill jumped. What's going on? Stepped off the mound.
It just broke his concentration, Ray. That's all the Giants are waiting for. A little crack in the armor. This game's over.
Let's see what this 1-2 pitch is to Torres.
2 down with Bowker at first. Cahill to Torres. Look at that.
Not even close.
And immediately, Suzuki runs out to the mound to counsel young Trevor Cahill. Were you a guy who visited the mound a lot?
I think it's necessary. The worst thing a catcher could do is sit behind the plate and, well, I'll talk to the pitcher when he gets back in the dugout. Meanwhile, he's had about 6 ropes hit. And if you notice something that a pitcher is doing or not doing, you go out and talk to him. If it's going to take a little bit extra time.
Ooh. Just missing inside with that changeup.
That was close.
You know, and umpires will tell a catcher you're going out too much, and you just keep going anyway.
Just a little bit inside.
Torres backed up. He had no chance. So he was hoping backing up that way would cause the ball to miss, and it did.
3-2. 4-0. Oakland ahead. Torres with Whiteside on deck and Bowker at first. And there goes Bowker. That was down the right field line, hit well. To the wall on one bounce. And Bowker's going to score easily. Off and running with the pitch, and he scored all the way from first on another double by Andres Torres. And the Giants have their first run of the night.
Well, we're going to make that the hit of the game, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Giants hadn't even gotten a man to third base until this swing of the bat. It comes with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Visit CacheCreek.com for upcoming events. Our Cache Creek hit of the game.
And that will be the end of Trevor Cahill. You see Bowker running with a pitch, and he never stopped. Trevor Cahill calls it a night. Another impressive performance by the young right-hander against the Giants. For the Athletics, his 20th appearance of the year. Got a 2.95 earned run average. Tough to hit. 18 in the third innings. Only 12 hits allowed. He has, however, given up a couple of home runs.
Both the left-handed batters. He's a submarine pitcher. He's got a little frisbee slider. And, of course, the sinker. And normally he keeps the ball on the ground, at least in the park. Those two, he tried to pitch inside to the left-handers. And they left them inside. And they went very quickly into the seats.
Eli Whiteside with a runner at second. Ziegler inherits Andres Torres at second base. Trevor Cahill, 96 pitches in 6 2/3 innings. That's right to Kuzminoff. And just like that, the inning is over. Giants get the 1. 4-1 Oakland.
It was declared today officially in Oakland, Dallas Braden Day. And of course, everyone's still excited, whether you're an A's fan, Giants fan, or just baseball fan anywhere. The perfect game a couple of weeks ago right here on this field on Mother's Day. One of the best teams in baseball, the Tampa Rays, and Dallas Braden shuts them out with perfection. We talked about Catfish Hunter earlier in the broadcast, and now it's Dallas Braden into Oakland A's history. You see him there hugging his grandmother, who is also here tonight, Peggy Lindsay. And guys, and Ray, I didn't know this, but before the game, Dallas told me, of course, he has that 209 tattoo, referring to the 209 area code where he's from in Stockton. But he said his grandmother also has the 209 tattooed to her body. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
Well, in Cooperstown, where John Miller will be shortly, you can go into Cooperstown and see a pair of baseball cleats worn by Dallas Braden, a perfect game. And on this cleat, you'll see 209, the area code of Stockton. So it's there. And John, you'll have to report back to us after you take a tour.
You'll check it out.
Yeah.
He calls it the 209.
That's right.
This is Jack Cusk leading it off against Barry Zito. Last of the 7th. 4-1 Oakland ahead. And a foul fly off the left field line. 33,369, the largest paid crowd of the season so far here at the Coliseum to see the Giants and the A's. Day games here both tomorrow and on Sunday at 1:05. Tomorrow, Matt Cain for the Giants, Gio Gonzalez for the Athletics. And Sunday, Jonathan Sanchez up against Ben Sheets. The Giants will be home on Tuesday. The Washington Nationals will come to town. Jack Cusk has struck out and singled in this game against Zito. Look out. Almost hit him. 3-1 the count. Zito has now thrown 93 pitches in the game.
See Zito a constant dialogue with himself during the course of the ball game.
All pitchers can learn that from Mark the Bird Fidrich, who in 1976 started talking to the baseball, talking to himself.
And he walks him. When we're talking about Dallas Braden, and they had a ceremony here on Dallas Braden Day in Oakland before the game. And he was honored. And that is his grandmother, Peggy Lindsay, mentioned by Raj Mathai. And she threw out the ceremonial first pitch, a lefty. And then they had the commemorating logo on the left field wall. It will be there for the rest of the year, commemorating the perfect game. 27 up, 27 down. Dallas Braden, only the 19th in the history of Major League Baseball. Rosales with the runner going. And Sandoval in time.
Wow.
Offline back to first as Sanchez was throwing with Jack Cust about ready to take him on or start a dance with him or whatever. They became very close there.
I wonder if Sandoval knew that Cust was running on the hit and run, because normally the hit and run and the ball hit to third, you don't see a lot of third basemen throw to second, but he did and made a great play in getting the lead runner. Almost a double play.
And he had sidestepped Jack Cust, so the throw just was offline.
Well, Sandoval's got a good arm, and the guys who have strong arms, they'll take on small windows of opportunity, and that window was not large. But boy, by the time it got to Fred Sanchez, you're thinking, wow, he had room to spare.
And I think Sanchez showed something there. He may not be happy with his throw. He should have had the double play, as it turned out. But look how he comes across the bag to avoid the runner to take that throw. It also gets the ball to him a little more quickly because he's that much closer to the third baseman.
But you could also see Sanchez kind of stretching out almost like a first baseman, maybe thinking that it was going to be close enough. He didn't want to come off the bag too quickly. But the way he cleared himself, you'd think he could turn the double play.
Pennington, the hitter, 0-2 the count. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Dodgers and the Tigers are playing at Dodger Stadium. Chad Billingsley, the pitcher down there for L.A., he pitched a very strong game his last time out, and he has shut down the Tigers through 7 innings on only 4 hits and has a 4-1 lead tonight. The Dodgers, who have been real hot of late. 1 out runner at first, and Zito misses very high. Giants bullpen is active. They'll be ready if he starts to falter here. Santiago Casilla, former Oakland right-hander, just caught up in the minor leagues today. Brandon Meadows was placed on the disabled list by the Giants before this game.
Well, the Casilla's former teammates, the A's, called him Willie. That's his nickname. It was nicknamed with the Athletics, so they're very familiar with Santiago Casilla. Had another name too. They changed that before a while back.
That's a bloop into right center, and that ball is in there for a base hit. Cut off by Torres, and over to third base goes Rosales.
It's another line drive, John.
A shot. Well, that one was hit.
You're just so accustomed to saying bloop by the A's.
Rosales kind of hitting away from the defense. The Giants really had Andres Torres shaded well over to the line. They gave away some area. You can see just how close to the line he was. If he's playing, even if he's playing normal depth in right field, I don't think he still would have caught that ball.
But he probably would have kept Rosales at second, not been able to go to third on the base hit. But because he had so much ground to cover, he just could not get there quickly enough.
Good point.
So now Rajay Davis, Oakland with 8 hits against Zito. This inning got started with a walk to Jack Cust. Giants bring the infield in. Not double play depth with 1 out.
And you got too much speed at the plate with Rajay Davis to play at double play depth here. No guarantee even on a hard smash that you're going to be able to turn 2, even with Davis from the right side.
Oakland already ahead 4-1. The Giants got their first run of the game in the first half of this inning. Rajay Davis hit a 2-run double in the third. Popped as short as last time. And the curveball misses. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think with Barry Zito, fewer runners will be running on him because as he comes to the set position, when he lifts the front leg, it's coming up straight. It's not passed back towards the second base of the pitching rubber, so he can throw to first or to home, so he can freeze the base runners.
Hit hard to left field, tagging at third is Rosales. Bauker's throw comes all the way through, but not nearly in time. 5-1 Oakland, holding at first Pennington. And that's the 3rd RBI of the game for Rajay Davis.
And And there's the difference right there with the runner able to take third base. The Angels probably the best in the American League going first to third. Tonight the A's do it in this inning. And again, maybe because the positioning of the right fielder, Torres. But that gets the A's a run with a fly ball. Instead of first and second, and a second out with no run scored.
So Pennington still at first. 2 down, and here's the leadoff man, Coco Crisp. Playing his first game of the year. He's flied out to right, hit a sacrifice fly, and he's had an infield single. 2 down, a run in the 7th inning. The Athletics, who have averaged just under 4 runs per game, put 5 on the board against the former A. Barry Zito tonight. That ball is hit deep into left center field. Going back is Bowker, still going back. Off the top of the wall. Pennington coming around. He will score on a long double from Coco Crisp. His second RBI. It is 6-1 Oakland, and that is going to be all for Barry Zito. Crisp just missed a home run, and Casilla will be summoned for the bullpen. More than 3 runs in a game this year. A disappointing night. 6 runs on the board, and it might have been more. This ball hit by Coco Crisp almost left the yard.
And a jagged edge in left field just barely stayed in the park. Wow. It's not that easy, John. You know, they talk about certain guys that can fall out of bed and hit. How about coming back off the disabled list after missing 42 games and hitting and playing the way Coco Crisp has tonight?
He's 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. He's knocked in a couple of runs. Coco Crisp almost throwing his own little private party here tonight.
Yeah, he just got off the disabled list down in Fresno. 4 games, 4 innings, 7 strikeouts. Sinker slider guy.
Santiago Casilla, who was picked up by the Giants in the offseason, always has had a great arm and was hurt, though, to begin the season, so he just started throwing again. Brandon Metters placed in the disabled list with a knee problem before the game, and Casilla summoned from Fresno. So here he is back in the Coliseum, where he pitched many, many times. 97 miles an hour on the outside corner.
Well, he does have a good arm, and telling Krug between innings when he was with the Athletics, and he's already changed, which is a lot better for him. Once he would throw, he would fall way off towards the first base side, and he actually injured his left leg or his right leg as he followed through and slammed it against the ground. Had to go on the disabled list, so he's already corrected that, squaring himself up a little bit more towards home plate when he finishes his delivery.
Well, when I saw the stats that he had at Fresno, 4 innings, We really hadn't heard a lot about this guy. I was talking to Bochy today about him. I said, well, what kind of stuff's he got to use? He's got great stuff. 7 punch-outs in 4 innings, and he's on fire right now.
Look at that. Man, that was nasty. And that's all for Derek Barton. But 2 runs for Oakland. On to the 8th inning. Top of the order for the Giants.
Privacy of a mini suite. All you need is 6 people to reserve a mini suite experience. Game tickets and a food package, including wings, sliders, hot dogs, popcorn, beer, and water, all for just $99 per person. For more information or to reserve your mini suite today, call 510-638-GO-A's. That's 4627, or visit oaklandathletics.com/mini suites.
I'm interested in that part you mentioned about the sliders.
Yeah, you like sliders? Huh?
Do you have any connections over there? When I start getting a little depressed, I start craving things like sliders. So,
yeah.
I'm a little down right now. So
well, bloops will do that.
Because all those bloops, huh?
if you know anybody, just have them.
Well, I know Chef Rodney, who is the Coliseum chef here.
Chef Rodney, we're calling you. Come over, visit us. Bring some sliders. 2-0 the count to Aaron Rowan, leading off in the 8th inning for the Giants against Brad Ziegler in relief of Trevor Cahill, who was sensational for the 2nd straight year against the Giants here at the Coliseum in interleague play. By the way, speaking of interleague play, the Padres playing in Seattle tonight. 2 Western Division teams from opposite leagues. That's at the knees for a strike. How about this score? The Padres, whose pitching has just been sensational all year. It's Seattle 15 and San Diego 4. And that game is in the top of the 6th. Wade LeBlanc, the Padres starter, gave up 8 runs in 3 innings, and reliever Cesar Ramos gave up a 7 spot in the 4th inning. Cliff Lee, talk about overkill. Cliff Lee's pitching for the Mariners. Mike Sweeney, 2 home runs up there. And Ziegler grabs it. Aaron Rowan is 0 for 4.
Yeah, that guy Cliff Lee, you get him 15 runs, and he's tough.
Mike Krukow probably could win a few, too, huh? I think every pitcher.
I take my chances with 15.
I'd be hoping to get through 5.
I mean, right now, I'd take my chances with 15.
Well, you know, yesterday afternoon, with Ken Griffey Jr. and everything's been happening with him, pinched hit and won the game for Seattle, driving in the go-ahead run in the 9th inning. Big comeback for the Mariners, and they backed it up tonight with a lot of offense.
And there is a called strike to Freddie Sanchez, who hit a double his last time. He's 1 for 3. Hustled it into a double. And there is Pennington. 2 men gone in the Giants' 8th inning.
Well, that was one of the stories that came out of Seattle earlier this year that really bothered me, and it was a story about Ken Griffey Jr. supposedly being asleep in the clubhouse when they needed him to make a pinch hit appearance. And it was written and it was told to the writer by an anonymous teammate.
Yeah.
And that just frosted me.
I agree. I 100% agree. If you're going to write a story, print the name or don't write it. If the guy doesn't want to say it, then don't believe it.
But what about the teammate?
Well, that's...
I mean, you're upset. Why don't you go talk to Griffey about it?
Exactly.
I mean, why are you... I mean, what was it that frosted you, Mike?
Well, the teammate said something like that and said, don't put my name on it. B, that it got written and there was no name put on it, the anonymous player. That bothers me just like the anonymous scout. Right. Yeah, a scout told me, well, put a name on all these. If you're going to reference anybody in this game to gain credibility, put a name on it. And when you discredit a guy who's had a Hall of Fame career like Ken Griffey Jr., put a name on it.
Well, even the writer himself said that he had not gone and asked Griffey about it. He had not gone and asked the manager, Don Wakamatsu, who's from Hayward, about it.
A very well-respected writer, Larry LaRue, who's been around for a long time, and he admitted he should have confirmed before he let the story with the press.
He also, I guess it was on his blog, and which has, that ball is smoked by Sandoval in the right field for his second hit of the game. So 2 down, a single by Sandoval, the Giants' 7th hit, and the batter will be Aubrey Huff. But he did say that he
number 17,
filed it,
Aubrey Huff.
accidentally pushed the wrong button on his computer, so he said. And he also said he called the editor, because things don't get in the newspaper until the editors have cleared them to go into the paper. It gets vetted by at least a second party. A blog's a different story. But LaRue said that he asked the editor to take it down until he could go ask Griffey and the manager about it to get their quotes. Not that he was not going to write the story, but he wanted to have that as part of the story, their response to it. And he said that the editor refused. He said, it's out there and it's out there. So long.
Yeah, so long. Well, I from what I understand, kind of called out the teammates and nobody came forward. So,
they had a team meeting.
Yeah, called it out. And Mike Sweeney, you mentioned 2 home runs tonight, and we saw him here for a year, and not afraid to have the meeting and call out players and say, hey, if you did it, be a man, admit it. And nobody did. Nobody came forward. So all the more, Mike, what you're saying, if you don't have the source and can print the name, don't run the story, especially first ballot Hall of Famer, and the great things he has done his career, over 600 home runs and hitting them the right way.
That is into left field as he dunks one in. So Aubrey Huff gets his second hit going the other way. And that will bring up Benji Molina for 2 on and 2 out. The Giants down 6-1 in the 8th inning. But the other part of it is, what was the motive? This anonymous player. I mean, what was he getting at? What was his point?
I understand if he's a AAA player and they want to take his job, but if you're already on the club, you're there. So, and Griff primarily.
But what was his point?
There shouldn't have been. There was no reasoning. And all the more to think that maybe it was just the story that leaked out that wasn't true.
Well, we've got a lot of media now. I mean, it's unbelievable with Twittering and blogging, and like John says, you don't always have that second set of eyes that can prove something and give you an opinion on what you've written, validate it, and it's intimidating to be an athlete. But it upsets me to see somebody who has represented the game so well for so long and is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer to get sort of dragged down in the mire of a story that I don't think just had a story that just did not have to be written or released.
Here's Benji Molina, who's 0 for 3 after the visit by Kurt Young, the pitching coach. The Athletics bullpen is very busy with the left-hander Breslow and the right-hander Andrew Bailey both warming up.
And I think the visit by Kurt Young, and we see it so often, Bailey getting up a little bit late, give him time, and if necessary, to come in and try to get more than 3 out save.
Swing. No, says the first base umpire, Sam Holbrook.
Oh, not even close.
What was wrong with the pitch?
Not even close.
We got to show a replay on there, Kay. What's this?
Oh, yeah, not even close.
His body was full more than the bat, right?
1-1 the count. In the right field, an easy play. And Sweeney takes it, and that's the inning. Molina has gone into a slump in those critical RBI situation at bats.
Say, what do they have in common? Well, they were all San Jose Giants on their way to the big league stardom. And now's your chance to meet some of the Giants All-Stars of the future, the first annual San Jose Giants night. It's going to be at AT&T Park June 2nd where the Giants take on the Rockies. Along with your ticket to the game, in the San Jose Giants section, you can gain access to a pregame party and an autograph session featuring members of the San Jose Giants. Meet the players, enjoy the food, drink specials will be there, and you can pick up an exclusive Madison Bumgarner bobblehead. This opportunity is only available through the special ticket offer, so go 415-972-2298 or go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
Now Denny Bautista, veteran right-hander, on to pitch for the Giants in the last of the 8th inning. Ryan Sweeney leads off against him, and Bautista on in relief of Casilla throws him a called strike. Final in from Arizona, the Diamondbacks facing the Toronto Blue Jays in interleague play. And the count is 0-2 now to Sweeney, who is 1 for 3 in the game. The Blue Jays hit 6 home runs. 6 home runs.
6 more home runs because they've hit it.
3 of them, they've hit more homers than any team in the majors. 3 of them were hit by Edwin Encarnacion. 3 home run game for Encarnacion. And Dan Herron, the starter for the D-backs, gave up 4 of the homers. Sanchez throws out Sweeney, 1 away in the Oakland 8th inning. And the final score with the Blue Jays heading to 6 homers, roughing up Dan Herron with 4 big flies in his 8 innings. Arizona 8, Blue Jays 6.
So they get 6 runs on 6 home runs?
They hit 6 homers for a grand total of 6 runs and lost the game.
Has that ever happened in baseball history?
Well, first of all, 6 solos. That's unbelievable.
I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, that's weird.
That's the second game in the last 3 nights in Arizona in which a team has hit 6 home runs.
Who was the other one?
Arizona.
Against whom?
Hey, Ray. Don't be bringing that stuff up.
I just read it.
No, don't be bringing that stuff up. We've been to therapy for that.
So the D-backs hit 2 more home runs of their own tonight. Adam LaRoche and Chris Young both went deep. So I don't know what's happened there. I think the altitude must have risen in Phoenix since the last time we were there last year.
When Arizona hit the 6 against that club that just visited them a couple of days ago, was the roof open for that game as well?
The roof was open. The roof was open, yeah.
So maybe it's something about the dry air that the ball is carrying very well.
Dry air, a lot of fat pitches.
Yeah.
That may have had
Nice
something to do with it.
Yeah.
This is Kurt Suzuki, the cleanup man for Oakland. He is 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning. And a fastball very high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Diamondbacks win another ball game, and a game you don't see very often. I once saw the Milwaukee Brewers at Fenway Park hit 6 home runs in a game I broadcast against the Red Sox, and they lost by 11 runs. They lost 19-8 despite their 6 homers. In fact, I had it backwards. The Red Sox hit 6 home runs. They hit 4 of them in 1 inning and lost the game by 11. Here in Oakland, no home runs, although Coco Crisp came close. The A's, with a 3-run 3rd inning, added a run in the 6th and 2 more in the 7th. The Giants got 1 run in the 7th, their only run of the night. Sanchez off the tip of his glove as he made the dive for it. And that's a base hit for Suzuki, his first of the night. Hit number 10 for the Athletics.
Kurt Suzuki's done a great job since returning, especially with 2-strike hitting, and stays back very well and would use the middle part of the diamond, especially with 2 strikes. You make a mistake, an off-speed pitch, he'll pull, but likes the balls right back up the middle. Pretty good hitter.
Kevin Kuzminoff has flied out to center, grounded into a double play, and popped up to second. They go into the 9th inning in L.A. The Dodgers with a 4-1 lead over the Detroit Tigers in interleague play. The Yankees beat the Mets at Citi Field in the Subway Series, and Javier Vasquez got the win for the Yankees against Elmer DeSantis. That game was scoreless until the 7th inning in New York. And then Vasquez did not finish the game. He got hurt. And the Mets have fallen upon hard times. The Astros beat the Rays 2-1. Brett Myers got the win over Matt Garza. Joel Pinheiro, who was an Angel last year and had an excellent season. He's an Angel now. He was a Cardinal last year and signed with the Angels. He went back to St. Louis tonight and got lit up. Brad Penny, the man who replaced him in the Cardinal rotation, hit a grand slam against him. So Penny beat Pinheiro. In fact, Penny wasn't even around long enough to get the win. That game was 9-5 in the 4th inning. So Penny wasn't around very long. Pinheiro was not around very long. And off the glove of Whiteside, but it stays in the home plate area. Minnesota Twins hit no home runs tonight at home against the Brewers and scored 15 runs, beating Milwaukee 15-3.
They're playing very well in their home park. Twins are.
Got a brand new ballpark, open air field in downtown Minneapolis.
Have you broadcast there yet?
No. Week from Sunday. Okay. And that's a strike on the outside. The Colorado Rockies went to Kansas City and got lit up by the Royals 9-2. Bannister got the win over Jason Hamill. And Jose Guillen hit 2 home runs for Kansas City.
Ned Yost, their new manager, continues to win.
Shallow center field. That ball is in there. Base hit. And never hesitating, Suzuki read that one and goes round to third. So Kuzminoff's first hit of the game.
Kind of a recurring theme. I don't want to bring this up, Ray.
Well, you mean great base running by Suzuki, reading this ball perfectly off the bat.
No, I mean the deep bird.
Well, when you have the outfielders playing deep, and you know that's smart hitting to make sure that you hit the ball just in between the infielders and the outfield, no matter how hard. But at first and third again by Kurt Suzuki, hustling, reading the ball off the bat of Kuzminoff in the shallow center field.
Well, it really was good base running. And really excellent hitting all these pop-ups where nobody can get to him.
I mean, that's something special to do.
I'm impressed.
I don't remember you being able to do that well when you played.
I wouldn't remember if I did, but it's been so long. But I would take every one of them, as every hitter will take every one of them.
Here's Eric Patterson hitting for Jack Cust. And he takes the ball off the outside. The younger brother of Corey Patterson, who used to play in the big leagues. Eric Patterson hitting .222 in 72 at bats. He's got 4 home runs. He's not a big guy, but he's hit the long ball with frequency.
And Eric, though, is not one who is going to hit a lot of home runs, and no doubt with his speed should utilize the speed by hitting ground balls and line drives. And like Rajay Davis and Coco Crisp couldn't fly. And his brother Corey called up to the Orioles and playing left field for them now. And Patterson definitely adds that added dimension, the speed. The way Justin Verlander was pitching the other night, Wednesday, against the A's. Eric Patterson pinch hit against him in the bottom of the 8th inning. Verlander struck him out on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Verlander
in the 8th inning. So he was
one of the best in the American League. Blew that one right by him, and the count is 2-2 now to Patterson with Rosales on deck. Only one out. And the Athletics with a threat here against Denny Bautista. A couple of singles, Suzuki, followed by Kuzmanov. They have runners at first and third.
Well, definitely Rajay Davis is up. Cook, you mentioned infield playing in. Speed of Patterson is the same. It'd be tough to double him up, but he has to make contact and hit the ball on the ground and take the chance to get the run in without being doubled up.
I always like what Joe Garagiola said about speed. It has no slump.
That's right.
And it really is true. You can do so many things with speed without having to really make great contact. You can be an offensive threat.
And that's all for Patterson. 2 men down. First strikeout for Bautista, the third Giants pitcher of the game.
Just country hardballed him. Fastball right down there at the knees, and I think it's a second stage movement, exploded right through the bat. Big strikeout for Bautista as he tries to work his way up the ladder in the bullpen.
Rosales.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry. Rosales has hit a single, starting a 3-run rally. He struck out and hit into a force play. Scored a couple of runs, and that slider at 90 miles an hour. Nice save there by Whiteside with the runner at third. The Oakland bullpen is busy with the left-hander Craig Breslow warming up. Oakland ahead 6-1 here in the 8th inning. And that slider is very high. The Rangers beat the Cubs 2-1 in Arlington, Texas, as Colby Lewis got the win over Chet Lilly. The White Sox beat the Marlins 8-0. Mark Burley, a 3-hit shutout for Chicago. And in the All-Ohio, the Reds beat Cleveland 7-4 in Cleveland. Bronson Arroyo got the win. And Brandon Phillips, Lance Nix, and Johnny Gomes. Gomes, a Northern California native. All hit home runs.
He is from area code 707.
The 707.
Oh, that's right.
And that's a foul out of play off the right field side. The Redwood Empire, the chosen spot of all the earth as far as nature is concerned, according to Luther Burbank.
Okay. Whatever Luther says.
So ask Johnny Gomes when you see him. There was one National League game tonight. The Braves beat the Pirates 7-0 back of former Oakland Athletics right-hander Tim Hudson. 4-hit shutout. That's the inning. A couple of strikeouts there for Bautista with men on base. Last chance for the Giants. 9th inning. They're trailing 6-1. Athletics from the Coliseum. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow and Ray Fosse with you here at NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network. Tomorrow, 105, Game 2 of the series, and 105 on Sunday as well. Tomorrow, Matt Cain and Gio Gonzalez. Sunday, Jonathan Sanchez, Ben Sheets in the sunshine here in Oakland. Craig Breslow in from the Oakland bullpen in relief of Brad Ziegler. Throws ball 1 to Ryan Rollinger. Rollinger entered the game in the 3rd inning in relief of Juan Uribe, who left with some tightness in his hamstring.
Craig Breslow, picked up by the Athletics last year. Flames off waivers, the Minnesota Twins. Ended up making 77 appearances combined with the Twins and the Athletics. And turned out to be an outstanding left-hander out of the bullpen. Good fastball, and actually they called him, he got from bullpen, never say no Breslow, because it didn't matter how many times he was called in the pitch. He was always ready to go, and a little bit of an arm problem coming out of spring training, but is throwing very well right now.
And that ball is caught by Suzuki. Rollinger is 0 for 3 since entering the game. 1 out. John Bowker will come up. Breslow got into 77 games last year between his time here in Oakland and with the Twins earlier in the year. John Bowker now. Bowker has struck out, grounded out to second, and beaten out an infield hit and scored the Giants' only run. Giants 0 for 9 in their at-bats with runners in scoring position. Giants who lost 3 out of 4 to start this road trip in San Diego and Arizona, and they are down 6-1 here in Oakland. One strike to count to John Bowker.
Nice for the Giants to get back in the Bay Area for this weekend series, and then while the A's head out on the road, you guys are home for a nice long homestand, so it gives you a chance to get back into the area for a lengthy period of time.
Giants have the Nationals coming in on Tuesday, and over the weekend the Arizona Diamondbacks make their first visit of the year, and then on the Memorial Day holiday, a week from Monday, the Colorado Rockies come in. Tim Lincecum with the hoodie alongside Freddie Sanchez in the dugout. Lincecum would be due up again on Wednesday against the Nationals.
And that's exactly where the A's like to see Tim Lincecum, right there in the dugout with the hood up, just taking it easy for the weekend.
The only win the A's had against the Giants last year was the great game that Cahill pitched here last June. Lincecum beat the A's twice last year. Won't have a chance to do it twice this year.
Ben Mazzaro on the losing end of those games, and he pitched well.
2-2 to John Bowker.
But so did Lincecum. Yeah, what an outstanding pitcher.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, and he likes the cold. I mean, we were just down in Arizona, and it was 92 degrees, I guess, when game time really first pitch was thrown.
There is Rosales in shallow right. Sweeney calls him off. 2 down.
But it's always a concern of the Giants when he goes out there in the Midwest or the East Coast in the middle of the hot summer humid months, when he catches a hot day game, because he likes it cold. I mean, a kid from the Washington area, Seattle area.
Why does he have the hood on? You don't need the hood if you like it cold.
Oh, yeah. That's just a style statement.
I know, it looks good.
He could be sitting there in a golf shirt. He doesn't care. Likes it cold.
Here's Andres Torres, and he takes a strike. Torres is the one Giant who really swung the bat well tonight. He doubled in the 3rd, lined out to the second baseman in the 5th, and hit a long double down the right field line to knock in the Giants' only run back in the 7th. Batting right-handed now. Torres, who really was only reliable as a right-handed hitter last year, this year's have been just the opposite. He has been outstanding batting left-handed. And a lot of foul room in this ballpark. Plenty of room there for Barton, and the ball game is over. So the Athletics take game 1 of the 2010 Interleague Bay Bridge Series, 6-1, and Trevor Cahill gets the measure of the Giants for the 2nd year in a row. And more misery for Barry Zito against his old ball club. Zito loses to the A's for the 4th consecutive time. 6-1 the final from the Coliseum. And a long week on the road for the Giants with just one win.